Hi guys, I'm Jim and this is Jim's Fix-It Shop, and we are going to tear apart this 42-inch deck so I can get all the spots welded. Now, it's going to be a job. I hope I can get it done in a reasonable amount of time, or it's going to be 2 videos. So let's get started. I've had the camera on about 6 different places trying to position it so you can see the best, but we'll give it a shot. So the first thing I gotta get to these bolts under here that hold these brackets that support the spindles. So right now I just want to get this main structure out of here. So I measured this. This is the adjusting rod to level your deck. I don't want to mess that up. So it is 5/8 of an inch from the face of the nut to the end of the shaft. And chances are I'm going to have to level this thing anyway, but we'll give it a shot. I am going to be using an impact, so if you're wearing earphones, you may want to take them out. Okay, we got the nut off. I'm going to pull the rod out so we don't lose these. We'll take out the crossbars that the rod goes through. I'll take them out of each end, put them back on the way they belong, and the nut back on. And the nut is a little bit warm. I'll stick that over here in this box. Now I already took off the anti-scalp wheels. On this deck, it's standard, they come with it, and the brackets are welded on. You can't get the brackets off. So now we'll start taking off some of these bolts that hold this on. And I think I need a different socket. Oh yeah, that fits better. And there's nuts on the bottom. Well, there's one. Now we got a dish over here with the hardware in. I guess we're going to get it over here where we're working. I've got this up in the air kind of high, but I had to get something under it so I could get my hands under there. This one does not want to come out. It's almost like it's a smaller nut, but I don't think it's going to be a 7/16. I did notice some stuff on here was metric. And I guess we'll come back to that one because I'm going to have to get a metric wrench, I guess. There's one. There's another one. Boy, they sure get stuck in the sockets. Now we want to get up under here and get these bolts out of these support brackets. And this one I'm going to have to use a socket on. They got it in from the wrong side. Wow, that bugger's tight. And I'm going the wrong way again. I haven't had my Pepsi this morning. I think that's the big issue. A lot of rusty bolts. I think I'll be buying new bolts for this because it just make it a whole lot easier putting it back together. Almost dropped that on the floor. Now we got another one back in here that we can get with a impact. I think. There's that one. Now we got to take this off. This is the arm that goes over. You probably can't even see it. That supports. Lost my socket here. That supports the brake mechanism and makes that work. And that has a spacer inside, so you can't over tighten it and lock it up so the brake don't work. I believe that's off. Now we got to spin this side off. Well, that come out pretty good. Yeah, that figures. That's behind the spindle, and we're going to have a flex, a universal joint. I don't think I'm going to be able to get on that. Nope. Let me grab one of them. Sorry about that. I just grabbed a whole row of them. I've got all the sizes on one. If this is too long, I have universal sockets that I can get up in there with. That might work. Well, they kind of broke loose anyway. I think we're going to have to wrench that bugger out of there. I guess I should buy myself some of these fancy ratchet wrenches they have. Now he's got some kind of contraption over here. I have no idea what that's for. Apparently he had that, he put that on there to keep the belt from coming off. I'll show you what it looks like. I get it off. It's a piece of plastic, it looks like. He had bolted in here, and you can tell the belt's been rubbing on it. We'll have to check the tightness of the belt, and maybe we won't even need that to go back on there. Okay, we got one more bolt up here, and that looks like it outside of this one that we're going to have to get a metric socket for. Oh, and this don't want to get on there either. Let's see if we put a universal on here. And I don't have a impact universal, so I'm sure I'm going to hear about this. We'll try not to break it. The wrench down there. It doesn't even want to grab. I guess I got the wrong socket. Boy, that does not want to come off. That one's really rusted on. Get a wrench on there to see if I can break the nut loose. Oh boy. Well, I'm going to have to go get a metric wrench to fit this nut, and I think I might have to turn this thing over and get the impact on the nut instead of the bolt, and I'll be right back. Okay, that was a job. I did end up getting that nut out off back here, and it was a 1/2 inch wrench, and it kept spinning because of it was so rusty. And I tried the open end of the wrench, and unbelievably it grabbed it and spun the nut off. This one up here, I had a little more trouble getting that out. Now this is pretty much loose except for this handle. We got to get this handle unhooked. So we're going to take that off. And we got to get this spring off. Gotta do is I can't get the bolts out of the bottom of this thing. I'm gonna have to cut them off. So now we gotta try and get this spring off of here. That might be more fun than that really sounds. Oh, we almost had it. Just don't want to come off of there. I think I need 3 hands. I don't know if getting this end off is going to be any easier. Well, we might as well do this the long way instead of the easy way. Take this spring off. We'll see if these pliers are big enough to take that snap ring off. I think I'm going to have to go get my other ones. Never fails, I always push that the wrong way. And my spring popped out. I've never had that happen before. I don't think these are going to do it. This didn't go flying across the room. Now that is almost off of there now. It's a stubborn little bugger. Well, it's got a cutter key down on this end. Let's see if we can get that out. Which has been up pretty bad. They got a burr on the end of that spring. I don't know if that was intentional, but it won't come out the hole. I'll put that over there. I'm glad I'm doing a video on this. I may need it. Well, if we can slide this thing out of here. I don't know where these brackets still on around these spindles. It's going to allow me to slip that out of there or not. There, we got that off. Now, we're going to flip it over to get the spindle bolts out because the tops basically just look like a rivet. There's nothing to hang on to. And we'll have to get this off. I think I'm going to have to grind it off. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit and flip it over and see what it looks like, and I'll be right back. Okay, I got the 3 nuts off the bottom of the deck that hold the spindles in place. Now we just have to take the top of the spindle apart because it has to slide out through the bottom. Take this big nut off the top of this thing. I just usually hang on to the pulley. first. Well, I thought this would be easy. I don't know if that pulley screws on or it's just stuck. I don't see any set screws that would lock it on there. Better wipe the dirt off first, make sure. Nope, I don't see nothing that would hold that on. Let's try tapping on it, knocking it out. This thing's really getting in my way. I think it's coming up. I need a little padding. Guess it was just rusted on there. We'll put a nut back on there just so we don't lose that top washer. That's kind of important. Oh, and this will come right off. Look at that. Now we got to take the brake drum off. And this brake is totally shot. We're going to have to get a new one of them. I can even see how it's held on there. Boy, he's been greasing, somebody's been greasing this bearing. Yikes. That's a mess. And I think I've seen a snap ring in there somewhere. Yep, right there. Let's see if my little pliers will take that out or if I'll have to go get the big ones. And when you know it, I already pushed them pins. Let's see if this takes it out. Well, it started. It's stuck in the groove. All that grease, I wouldn't think it'd be stuck in there too bad. Just gonna set that there. This should lift off of here. Looks like we might have another snap ring under there. Man, this thing is a mess. Can't even let go of that. Yeah, there's another snap ring. Now this should slide off. That's going to need some cleaning. Now we should be able to pop them spindles out of the bottom of this thing. Then all we'll have left to do is cut these two bolts off the bottom, because I cannot get them out no matter what I try. Now what held these spindles in are these plates, and it looks like these things are either pressed in or welded in so they don't spin on you when you're trying to get the nuts off the bottom. I kind of like that. Now we should be able to just drop them right out of there. It doesn't matter which one goes where. That's the good one. And that's the bad one. So I got to kind of make a list of everything I need for this machine, and then report back to Bruce on what I need for parts. Yeah, them are pretty rusted up back here. I'm going to have to go get a grinding wheel and cut them off. Well, I got one out and I'm working on the other one. They're so rusty that most of the head is gone. But at least I got that out of my way. Now, we're pretty much everything off of this. And I don't know if you can see, the worst one is right here. It's cracked up really bad. The other one is this one down here. It's cracked. This goes this way. And the other spot on the deck, I just noticed. Turn it this way. There's some of the rim missing. Now it looks like a lawnmower blade hit that somehow at some point, and this is all messed up pretty bad. We're gonna have to try and heat this and beat that back into shape, and then weld the crack. Maybe put a piece in here and weld them two cracks. Sorry about that. That was the wife coming out to tell me it was time to eat. So that's all that we're going to do to this deck right now until we get it welded. Maybe I'll see if I can take the camera over to my son-in-law's and show him welding it. We'll see how that works out. But until next time, work safe, have fun, please subscribe. I need your help. And keep on snapping. We'll talk to you later. So long.